Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Money Chats with me, MT Shalise. We are on episode 13, and we're going to talk about the future is scary. This was actually a requested topic in terms of the future being really uncertain and scary for our younger folks. So we're going to talk about that today. But before I get into that, some church announcements. So tomorrow I am doing an investing study group. We're going to be talking about generational wealth. What does that exactly mean and how to prepare our children and next generation for that? So if that sounds interesting to you, make sure you check out my website, mt1finance.com. Also, some changes regarding the podcast channel. So, guys, maybe I just overdid it, but I can only do one podcast episode a week. I'm running two other YouTube channels and other platforms and, the website and just different things behind the scenes. And so I really have to, make sure I'm not burning myself out at both ends. And I know you guys would understand. So yeah, it'll just be one podcast episode per week. And I believe it'll be on Saturday. So I will update my header and different things. But yeah, one episode a week. And that way it'll give you time, all of you time to catch up on the latest episode. But this episode makes episode 13. So we do have quite a bit of episodes under our belt. And I'm excited to chat with you guys. So I'm not going to be on here too long, probably around 15 minutes, but let's go on and talk a little bit about the future is scary. And I resonated so much with this topic request because it made me think about when I was like a young adult versus, my daughter who will be entering that stage. When I got my first apartment, I was 19 or 20, and I remember paying about $645 or something like that per month. I had a one bedroom apartment. It was about 525 square feet, living room, dining room, one bedroom, a kitchen, one bath, and also paid for our gas, right? So, I was able to get a reasonable apartment, plus it included, a utility or something. I can't even imagine what someone who was 19 or 20 nowadays, what they would be able to afford. And you know what? I'm going to do this. I'm going to look up that same apartment and see how much is renting for now. Actually, let me see if I can do that while I'm talking with you guys. So I'm literally on my computer right now going to see um because I want to know, and do you guys go back and see what your apartments were, when, between what it was then when you paid for it versus what it is now? Because I can tell you, I do understand why you may think that the future is scary because, oh my goodness, it says starting at 2000. This can't be right. $2,995 a month. That is absolutely insane. Oh my goodness. What? No, that can't be right. That's at least two bedrooms or something. Oh my goodness. And keep in mind, I'm 38, so you're talking about almost 20 years ago. But still, that's amazing. So again, children or young people nowadays, it's hard for them. I mean, a simple one bedroom apartment, nothing fancy, nothing with a whole bunch of bells and whistles, just a normal one bedroom apartment is literally on average running around $1,500 to $1,700 on a national average nowadays. And I was thinking, how can young people afford to not just live on their own, but live? I lived on my own. I had a car. I bought my Civic. I had a 94 black Civic. It was two-door. I called her Black Beauty that I paid $6,000 for. Saved up like crazy, but paid $6,000 for. And I was able to have my job. I was still finishing up my bachelor's degree. And I was able to afford my rent. And my husband actually moved in with me. So a young person nowadays, oh my goodness, talking about not just rent, but now a lot of the apartments don't include anything. Now, you guys just heard me mention that some apartments had sorry guys. You guys heard me mention that some apartments included some gas, some apartments include electric or water. Nowadays, apartments include nothing at all. And now water is higher, electric, gas is higher, and it's just becoming more and more expensive. So the future is scary, but I think that if we have some things in place where we could be proactive, I think it'll help lessen the blow, right? So one of the things I talked to my daughter about is she's starting to talk about college, right? That's right on the horizon. And, what is it that you want to study? Now, there's nothing wrong with art history or English or anything like that, but you have to keep in mind jobs that will pay you what you want, the lifestyle that you want to have. You have to keep that in mind. And when I asked her about, like, what do you imagine your life to be like? She want to have her own place. She want a car. She want to be able to be comfortable. She doesn't have to be rich, but she wants to be comfortable. And we talk about this, like, because the future, things are just getting more expensive. Inflation is crazy. That, we have to be a little bit more strategic with what you study in college. And you can have a minor in something like that, but if your major, what you actually do for a living has to be able to support you. And so we start there. We also talked to her about money management. That was one of the things that I didn't have a lot growing up, is someone to really sit down with me and talk to me about the importance of managing my money, the importance of budgeting, for example, teaching her that you have to know every penny that's coming in. If you have a part-time job, if you're getting like a stipend from school, whatever it is, if you do something on the weekends, you have to know every single penny that's coming in, right? We have to pour this into our children. We have to teach them this because, yes, the future may be scary, but if we go forward with the right knowledge and the mindset and with the plan, it could be bright. The future could actually be bright. And so teaching her about what's coming in, and then also, more importantly, what's going out, and teaching her that it's very easy to get lost in the sauce and not realize that you have a lot of money going out versus what you have coming in. You must know what you have coming in and what you have going out every single month. And be honest with yourself. If you don't like certain things, if you don't like the streaming service, if you don't like that subscription, if you don't want that purse, don't buy it. It's okay. Save your money. Spend it on things that will bring you joy, that will make you happy. Otherwise, you're just wasting money. So we're really trying to teach her to be on top of her money and her emotions, right? A lot of people find themselves in financial upheavals. Why? Because emotion is tied into it. Emotional money is a very emotional thing. If you think about it, it makes us happy, it makes us sad, it makes us frustrated, it makes us angry, it makes us depressed, it makes us anxious. Money is very heavily tied to our emotions. So the best thing that we can do to kind of get ahead of all of this is having a plan, knowing what's coming in and knowing what's going out. Another reason why I believe we can lessen the whole future is scary mentality is by facing things head on. A lot of reasons why I found myself in the hole all those years ago was because I put my head in the sand. I figure out of sight, out of mind. If I don't see it, then it doesn't exist. When that was the furthest from the truth, I was actually like penalizing myself. I was actually destroying myself in the name of trying to like avoid it. It doesn't stop interest. It doesn't stop collections. It doesn't stop my credit being tanked. It doesn't stop any of that. So I think looking at things head on and not just, excuse me, guys, admitting where I failed, but forgiving myself as well. Forgiveness is another part of this journey that I think people don't do enough of, is forgive yourself for the past. You can't go back and change, what you did with your money. You can't go back and change what you did with your tax refund or a bonus or a raise. You can't go back and change the past. We can learn from the past and move forward, making the right decisions, making the right choices. And so another thing that I was thinking about when I was thinking about this topic is that education. I'm a big fan of truth, knowledge. And when you have truth and knowledge on your side, it dispels any fear, any doubt that you may have. And so if you are tracking your expenses, if you are investing, if you have an emergency fund, your future is brighter because now it's not so unknown, right? A lot of us get scared because of the unknown. We just don't know what to expect. We don't know what's around the corner. We don't know what's up the road. But guess what? when we have something in place. And this is not to say that life doesn't change or life doesn't happen, but having a plan is always better than not having one. Because if life happens and you do have a plan, guess what? Yes, you may have to drain your emergency fund, but you had it. If you had no plan, you wouldn't have had an emergency fund. And so when life happened, you would be up the creek without a paddle, right? You would have to get into more debt. So I'm always a proponent of having a plan in place versus not having a plan in place, because then if I know, like this is the next step, and then after that, this is the following step, and so on and so forth, then I don't have to be so concerned about the unknown or the what ifs or, like what could happen. I don't like to live my life in that state, because it's not a good way to live. Another thing that we can do is constantly have accountability. Having a person to run this past, even like when we do these podcasts. Now, I don't talk to any of you like personally in real life, but through the comments section. And even if you don't leave a comment, maybe there's something on these podcast episodes that resonate with you, and that'll give you the motivation to continue to move forward, so you don't have to stay in that state of fear or, feeling scared because of the future. Yes, the future, in terms from an economical standpoint, is not looking the best. Things are just getting more expensive. You hear recession thrown around every time you turn on social media or the news. The government is doing a terrible job managing money. So is the Fed. And so it can be daunting. It can be absolutely daunting to see. One of the things that I've learned how to do is just know how to cut it off. Turn it off. If I ingest it enough, that's it. Because I'm just looking at the same thing in different ways. It's not really helping me to, have a plan in place. So that's something I would tell people, is just, if it's becoming overwhelming and you're watching it and you're absorbing it and it's just promoting fear and FUD, and FUD stands for fear, uncertainty, and doubt. It's just making you anxious. You're not getting enough sleep. Turn it off. That's one reason why I read the news versus watch a lot of it. I don't watch a whole lot of TV, to be honest. If I do have the TV on, I have the YouTube like app thing on, or I'm on Disney Plus or something, but I don't watch a whole lot of TV because I want to be in control of what I am taking in. And so when you have the news on a lot and you have all of these different opinions and ideas coming into your mind, it can have a dangerous effect on you. So I would just say, if you feel like the future is just looking worse and looking bleak, put a plan in place. Have a budget. Have a savings and emergency fund. Make a plan to pay off your high interest debt. The government, again, just increased another, a quarter interest rate hike. So 0.25%. Again, they are going to continue to do this until they get inflation under control. So that means your debt is becoming more expensive to hold. So make a plan for that. If you're getting any extra monies, that's a great opportunity to, pay that off so you can be freed of that. And, invest as well. And again, just money management. I think, and this is something that I've learned, is that being in tune with our finances alleviates so much stress. Oh my goodness. Knowing what to expect the next payday, knowing what to expect the following month. Oh my goodness. I'm telling you, it alleviates a lot of the stress, because money to me is a tool, is not something that controls me. I control it. And so, I really am hoping that you guys got something out of the podcast episode on today, because this was a really, really good one. Yes, it could be very scary, but I believe in making a plan so that we can turn that scary feeling into a feeling of hope, into a feeling of, positive thinking, right? Having affirmations. I'm big on that. Journaling and tracking, right? This is another reason why I track, because the media could be telling me things are terrible and blah, 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 blah. But if I'm tracking my progress, I can see that, I am making progress. I am saving more money. I am paying off my debt. I am investing more. I am putting these things in place to help me and my family escape generational poverty, right? And to create generational wealth. So that's the episode for today. Again, it's about 15 minutes. I didn't want to hold you guys too long. Again, guys, I hope leave me some comments down below on your thoughts in terms of the future in Scary and some things you're putting into place that, will help give you a brighter future. Okay. Remember, guys, it is just one podcast episode a week. So I will see you guys next Saturday. I hope that you guys have a wonderful week. Make sure you check out my YouTube channel, Mommy Trader, for my latest video. And if you need any help, make sure you check out my website, mt1finance.com. But again, guys, thank you so much. Hit that subscribe and like button. And I will see you guys in the next episode. Bye-bye for now.